YouTube? This is Vargas, and I am back again with the second part of the Power Movie haul. Um, I think I might have explained this, but what Power Movie does is that he's a really cool friend, and he has this Facebook page where on Tuesdays he has a claim sale. So what he does, it's similar to what Movie Freak Bazaar does, is that he puts up different albums with pictures of movies that he's selling, and the first comment is the person that gets the movie. So I guess technically it's shopping, like shopping online, but it's, I don't know, as a collector and a person that likes the thrill of the hunt. I like going into the albums and putting in my comment and hopefully winning the movie. Sometimes I don't win the movie, sometimes I do, but it really is. Besides the fact that I get some really cool movies, it's also kind of exciting to, buy movies that way, because while I do sometimes get very, very annoyed when I don't get the movie I want, it's also very cool when I do get the movie that I've been hunting for a while, or a movie that just piques my interest. So so let's get started with part 2 of the Power Movie haul. And I picked up the soundtrack for Independence Day Resurgence. Not the best sequel. I love Independence Day, and the sequel left a lot to be desired. I think I have the soundtrack for the first Independence Day. So I saw the soundtrack for the sequel, and I was like, I'm gonna get it, because I am trying to collect soundtracks for movies. I'm trying to beef up my movie soundtrack collection. But I also do want to start getting more metal. I see my buddy Movie John doing his Metal Mondays and his cassette or CD or vinyl hauls, and he shows up some really cool stuff that I'm like, I should probably beef up my metal collection. So maybe I'll get in on that in the future. Picked up the soundtrack for Witch Hunter Robin. I'm also a big anime collector, and I like the soundtrack for Witch Hunter Robin. And I remember this being promoted heavily at a Comic-Con, and I like the animation. I don't think I have any of the anime itself, but I wanted, at least I got the soundtrack for it, so that's always cool. Picked up the official album for Walt Disney Parks. This has a whole bunch of music from the park itself. It has like the Small World. It has Fantasyland. It has the Tiki 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 Room. Mickey's Mouse March. Light Magic. The Space Mountain. So it has a lot of theme songs for the rides at Disneyland, and I thought that was something really unique to own. Again, for my never-ending Disney collection. And I picked up the soundtrack for Star Trek IV: The Voyage Home. So I thought that was also pretty cool, because again, I want to beef up my movie soundtrack collection, and Star Trek is cool. I would like to get the Wrath of Khan soundtrack at some point. So yeah, on to some Blu-rays I got. Unfortunately, this one doesn't have the DVD. It's only the Blu-ray. But he did mention that on his claim sale that it didn't have DVD. It was only the Blu-ray. But it was at a good price, so I got it anyway. And it's Hobbs and Shaw from the Fast and the Furious. It's not a sequel. It's spin-off that just focuses on The Rock and Jason Statham, with Idris Elba as the villain. And it also has Roman Reigns. So I don't have the Fate of the Furious. I still am missing Fast 9. And now the Fast 10 is going to come out. So yeah, I'm still missing quite a few of the Fast and the Furious ones. This one I think does have the this one does have the DVD combo pack of Christopher Robin. I don't like these this Disney reimaginings. This one was pretty cool. Not good, but pretty cool, where Christopher Robin is played by Ian McGregor, and he's all grown up, and Winnie the Pooh and the gang are looking for him. This might actually be the last Winnie the Pooh movie that ever comes out, because Winnie the Pooh, the book series is now public domain, which is why they made that Winnie the Pooh horror movie. So this might actually be the last hurrah for Winnie the Pooh published by Disney, unless they have the rights to their interpretation of Winnie the Pooh. But I wish this movie would have been more colorful. It's a very gray, very dark kind of movie. Not dark in the sense that it's like depressing. It's just dark with the color palette they chose. It's not that good. This one also has the Blu-ray DVD combo pack, as he mentioned in his description. But I already have the town, but this one on Blu-ray has the extended cut. And I'm all about collecting extended cuts and different versions of movies that I might have already seen. Sometimes the extended or unrated cuts only really add like a minute or so, or they switch around the scenes. But I like collecting extended or unrated cuts, so I got that. Picked up this one. Unfortunately, only has the Blu-ray, but again that was established in the description, but it was at a good price, so that's why I picked it up. And this is the Blu-ray only version of Mary Poppins Returns. Much like Christopher Robin, this is a sequel to a beloved Disney movie. Mary Poppins, I really like. It's one of my wife's favorite Disney movies, Mary Poppins, and this one has Emily Blunt as Mary Poppins. Personally, I didn't much like this one, and not by Emily Blunt. Emily Blunt, I thought did a really cool job with portraying Mary Poppins, but the movie itself just kind of fell off. But glad to add that to my never-ending Disney collection. Super happy to finally add this one. I've been trying to get this movie for a while because I like collecting movies based on video games, among other genres. But this one in particular, I've had a really hard time getting. I got Tekken, I got Dead or Alive, but I was always missing the King of Fighters. And here in Mexico, the King of Fighters in the 90s was a really big thing. It was like huge. Like they would make these big events for a new release of the King of Fighters. And they released a live action movie adaptation. Not as bad as Dragon Ball Evolution. Some people hate it, some people are okay with it. I'm okay with it, and this is the King of Fighters live action movie adaptation with Maggie Q and Ray Park. It deviates a lot from the video game. I think the only really faithful one is Tekken. Tekken changes up a few things here and there, but for the most part, it's faithful to the video game series. And Dead or Alive is the one that's actually more faithful to the series. So they also made the Street Fighter with Jean-Claude Van Damme. That one's really cool. I like that for nostalgic reasons. And they also made the Legend of Chun-Li, which is not that good. On to the rest of the DVDs that I got. Picked up Menace to Society, the director's cut. I've seen Menace to Society. I have the old Snapper case release, but this is again a director's cut. And I like getting these type of different cuts because while sometimes it doesn't add anything to the original movie, sometimes it really is a new experience to watch an unrated or director cut. Picked up the Emoji Movie. I did not care for this movie. Honestly, I didn't think it was that good, but it has a Hotel Transylvania short, and yeah, it's just for collecting purposes. Picked up Pushing Tin, which is actually a movie that I have skipped on numerous occasions. Stars John Cusack and Billy Bob Thornton, but the main reason I picked it up is because it has one of Angelina Jolie's earlier roles. So this is just for my Angelina Jolie collection. I do have I'm trying to get her filmography, and don't quote me on this because I don't really know, but this might be the movie where she met up with Billy Bob Thornton and they had that turbious relationship. So picked up that. Picked up Knights of Bloodsteel. This is a blind buy. Apparently it's a miniseries, but it has Christopher Lloyd, and it looks to be like this fantasy kind of thing. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna pick up that one. Picked up finally. I don't know why I've skipped this one, but I picked up a copy of In Time. This is a Justin Bieber, Amanda Seyfried movie where in the future, or in this world, everything's based on time, so you have credits on time. So if you don't have that much time left, you're poor. But if you have a lot of time, you're rich. And it's about Justin Bieber who takes someone's time, and then he goes up in the ranks and everything. So it's an interesting premise, but again, I don't know why I just skip on it all the time until I finally decided to get a copy of this. So this one I've been trying to track down for a while now. This is part of the Colors trilogy. They released white, blue, and I was able to get a copy of red. This is the final part of that trilogy, so a lot of characters from white and blue make an appearance in red. I do want to get the other two, but this one is packed with special features. So yeah, finally, I'm super happy to finally find a copy of that. Picked up on DVD Tomb Raider. I watched the Angelina Jolie. The first Tomb Raider is really good. I really am a fan of that first Tomb Raider movie. Cradle of Life gets a lot of shit, but I found it enjoyable. And this one I saw, and I liked it. The main lead actress is more in tune with the modern version of Lara Croft, so I thought she did a pretty cool job. The only thing I might be able to critique is that she's too petite to really pull off Lara Croft, the actress that they got. But it's still a really enjoyable adaptation of that Tomb Raider reboot that they released. So got that. Got a DVD copy of The Hateful Eight. I have The Fateful Eight on Blu-ray. It was a Christmas gift, but I mentioned this before. I have this weird thing where I like owning the movie in its original language. For example, if it's a Mexican-made movie, I like the title to be in Mexican. If it's a Spanish movie from Spain, I like to get the title in Spanish. If it's a Korean movie, I like to get the American version because that one has the special features. And the Blu-ray that I have is the titles in Spanish, and that kind of bugs me. So I came across the DVD, so now I have a proper English release version of The Hateful Eight. The eighth film from Quentin Tarantino, so yeah, glad to add that. And this one I didn't know it existed, honestly, but I picked it up because it has a really cool cast. I'm working on a Sylvester Stallone filmography. This one has Sylvester Stallone as well as Ryan Gosling and Matthew Modine. And this is Backtrace with a slipcover there. And just picked it up because it has a Stallone in it. And I'm a huge fan of Stallone. And any movie that has Stallone, I will pick it up. Still in the market for trying to track down a copy of Rhinestone. So yeah, that was this DVD haul. Like always, I like to recommend the standout of the haul. And of the ones I've seen of this batch, I'm going to go with Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider is really cool. It's a very good adaptation of that reboot that I mentioned. And yeah, I'm going to go with that one. So stay tuned. I still have a whole bunch of movies to talk about, so stay tuned for that. But until I see you all again, guys, take care, and I'll see you in the next video.